Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to some more Project Zomboid as I turn off the fan in the background to eliminate any unwanted noise today. Today I realised that there is in fact a bag on this thing, and there's a pipe bomb and a smoke bomb. I could have sworn this wasn't here. Like, I genuinely could have sworn this wasn't here. Okay, we're going to pick this up. Learn something new every day, I suppose. Today we're going on a road trip. Now, be advised, I guess, myself and you as well with me. I did have a blue screen of death this morning. Game just crashed. Well, not game, computer crashed. I don't know why. It's been a long while since I've had one of those. I have a sneaking suspicion as to why. But this is not a persistent problem. This happened once. I don't know what to tell you. I was rendering some videos, and then I stopped rendering videos. They were done, and I was playing some Warhammer Total War. Alright, there we go, it started. And I was thinking to myself, alright, what can go wrong, right? Mid-battle, blue screen of death. Don't know what to tell you, genuinely don't. Except that it was a bit weird and unexpected and all that, but hey. Anywho, we're going on that road trip, finally, with our new bike. And as you can see, the suspension is going to take a bit of a hit here as we advance. However, I don't think anything's going to be really problematic here. These are the kinds of situations where I have to be careful. But as you can see, it's a very narrow bike, and so it gets through places like this relatively easily, which is the whole reason I wanted a bike to begin with, right? And there's the second reason. You can sort of push through zombies a little bit, which, you know, fair enough. If I couldn't, this wouldn't be much of a road trip. I've never driven a bike, though. In-game or IRL. I'm a car guy. I can drive cars. Motorcycles, not so much. Bicycles, when I was a kid, sure. You know how they say you can't forget how to ride bikes? I beg to differ on that, but sure. I guess, if that's true, then sure. And that's about it, as far as my driving experience goes. And so, okay, I'm wondering if I can push through here or not. Looks like no. Gonna have to go around. Alright. I mean, this is good practice for the future. Because chances are I'm going to have to do this anyway, right? Both here and over there and everywhere. What with the state of the roads and all that. Luckily, bike has a good engine, the fuel amount is sufficient for a long while. The only problem is the stutters and drops in performance as you drive around. And even with ludicrously high amounts of RAM, this still happens when you have a, shall we say, a rather rich mod loadout. And with 10 years later, it's particularly nasty. but not much I can do about that. I don't intend on showing you the whole road through, because this is a little bit... I mean, it's giving me a bit of motion sickness with the amount of stuttering that I'm getting. And this is the best I could do. I tried it in less modded games without 10 years later, in the sort of quote-unquote vanilla game with just cars like this and bikes, and some of the mods that I'm using, it works a lot better. It just really doesn't like 10 years later. What can we do? Okay, I'm wondering if I can squeeze through here. Obviously, I cannot. And you sure I can't? I can squeeze through here, definitely, right? Just gotta... Just gotta put in a bit more effort, right? Nope. Okay, first slight problems, I guess, already here. Didn't really expect that. So I can go through, but my bike can't. Yeah, because I'm sort of clipping the tree there, see? That's why the bike can't go through. Okay. I didn't bring an axe, did I? Well, tell you what. First of all, let's check how much I've damaged the bike from driving over a few zombies and stuff like that. Not much. Honestly, not much. Okay. That's good. First and foremost, turn it off. Second of all, let's go and grab an axe. Question is there one nearby, or am I going to have to search back home for one? Probably going to have to search back home, right? Probably. You have a crowbar, that's useful, but not for what I'm currently doing. Fascinating. I do want a tarp as well. Okay. Road trip, after all, delayed by just a tiny bit. Okay, just a tiny bit. First of all, disassemble all of this. Why am I carrying so much? Yeah, I need you to disassemble it. Oh, it just takes a while. Okay. Man, I even brought my burger and everything. I was ready to go. Turns out the world wasn't ready for me. Alright, I'm gonna have to turn on this fan after all. I'm gonna put it on a low setting, so I hope you don't hear it, but I failed to produce any useful materials. Out of a thing that big, I failed to produce anything useful. Alright. If you say so. Okay, that ought to work. I don't need this amplifier and stuff, but I suppose I'll take it. Okay, so where exactly am I going right now? Sort of got lost. I just go through, right? Yeah, I can probably just end up going through. It's gonna be a bit faster, although... It will let me check at least a couple of these bikes for specifically for bags, right? And that's what I'm looking for. Something I wasn't really paying attention to before. If they have a couple of bags, that could be worth a fair bit, you know? I didn't realise they had a magazine. I can take that magazine with me on the road trip. Okay, now what's the smartest way to go through this forest here? It's definitely not going to be through. Down here maybe a little bit. Careful. There we go. Alright, that's all that was needed. Can't afford to sprint for a little bit, I think. Wait a minute, where am I? Yeah, okay, a little bit more up the road. What about this bike? Does it have bags? I don't know if you can see them visually. I guess not. Maybe. Again, not something I've experienced with, not something I've been paying attention to at all. So, I'd love to learn right now, and I guess I'll commit it to memory as soon as I realise, but for now I don't know. Oh, I did check the generator. 98% condition, 80% fuel. More than enough for a lengthy road trip. So there is that, and I'm just going to drop these things off. Drop the amp. Aluminium. I'll keep the... Oh, first and foremost, there's this. I can turn off the TV, for crying out loud. Conserve electricity at least a little bit. And then up here I can put the scrap electronics. That works. And then I would like a small axe. Not a large one. A small one if I have one. A tactical axe. Oh, that'd be grand. Alright, let's put it on the belt. Yeah, let's put it on the belt. And then attach the slightly broken machete on the belt as well. And this one's going to be the backup. Alright, I think that works. We have breakfast, we have everything we need, and now we have an axe as well, which I forgot to bring last time. Forgot to bring in the first attempt to conduct this road trip, shall we say. There's also a corpse. Fine. Fine, there's a corpse. We'll just drop it off there. I don't think either of these bikes have bags, but I can check. No. Again, if I could see them visually. This one doesn't have bags, but it also doesn't have the ability to mount bags either, so... kind of interesting. Alright, on the highway I suspect we're going to see a whole heap of cars, and then I can check those for bags. Did I check this one already? If I did, I'm horribly sorry. I think I might have. Alright, sorry about that. And I can actually afford to sprint a little bit, even though it will leave me tired. Shift, Alt, and W, apparently. Changes the language on the keyboard. Sorry for stepping out of character like that, but it's annoying me every single time. Okay. So. We have an axe to clear out... we have an axe to grind with some of these roadblocks, eh? But I have an axe in case something like that happens again and we can't go through. But obviously, I'm gonna have to be very, very careful. That is not what I meant to do. See if I can't open this. Just a spare tire. Alright. Well, it did attract a little bit of attention. That's alright, though. If we could have, like, wide roads like this all the way to Louisville or Louisville, again. If you want to use that ridiculous name, sure. If we could get that, I'd be more than happy. In fact, that would be lovely. But 9 o'clock, good a time as any to begin our road trip, honestly. That's why I woke up early. It was around 7. Or, well, to be fully transparent and honest, I woke up at around 1 a.m. And yeah, that's not really a great time to start going on a road trip, so I busied myself with watching VHS, did some reading, I think, and yeah, stuff like that. Okay, so we can remove this bush, and then we can cut down this tree. Just gonna take a few swings, because I don't have a big axe, but big axe weighs a ton. And I don't want to deal with that right now, so there we go. Then we get on the bike. Starts first time every time, as you can see. And off we pop. It's a very quick bike, mind you, which is going to be, you know, tad bit risky. Where am I going? Dead ahead and then right. Of course, the great thing about it is, okay, here's its first test. Yeah, that's the great thing about it. With a car, I wouldn't really be able to do that. I'd have to run all of them over. The bike? Not so much. Like, it's nimble, it's agile, you can... It's the frickin' stutters, I'm sorry. If the game performed as well as the bike did, where would the end be for me? The one thing that's a little bit maybe unrealistic and a bit overpowered is the reverse speed. No bike has a reverse speed quite like this. But honestly, that's fine. Okay, there we go. This should lead onto the highway. Where, you know, hopefully I can put some distance between me and this town, put some distance between me and this sorry lot that's chasing me. I think you now have a more profound understanding of why I said this could only be possible with a bike, and that you can't really do this with any other vehicle. Too many trees in the middle of the road. Okay, there we go. Once you get a little bit of open road, just a little bit of open road, some 30-40 meters, you really get a sense of the speed of this thing. And how useful it would be in open terrain. Unfortunately, open terrain, not something to be found in this area. But it is what it is. The one thing I really like is how sturdy it is. The engine, the suspension, everything. It's really difficult to damage. Cars, I think, are a lot less sturdy, but they are a lot more viable as weapons as well, so the point in making them more fragile, in general, was to reduce their viability as a weapon, so you don't just get into a car, run everything over, and forget about the car, right? That was the balance reason for doing this, but with a bike, you can't really do that, because it doesn't have the width to be used as a weapon of mass murder. It's mostly just about transit, and so from a balancing perspective, you can make it a little bit sturdier, even though it doesn't make a lot of logical sense that a bike would be sturdier than a car, but hey. At least when it comes to, like, impacting with trees and zombies and stuff like that, in that sense. As far as the overall performance of bikes and their reliability and stuff, I know literally nothing about that, so I will not comment. But if you do, I'm now kind of curious to know, how many kilometers can I realistically travel in a bike, or motorbike, of course, without any major issues, or miles, whatever. I can do conversions. I'm assuming it's probably the similar thing, or probably the reliability story goes along the same lines as that with any other motor vehicle, right? The older ones, hundreds of thousands of miles, no problem, right? At least I'm assuming so. Alright, give me some speed. There we go. Beautiful. Okay, well, we're mostly out of the town. I want to spare your brain and your eyes from all this stuttering, so I'm going to switch, or I'm going to cut to a point where we make it far enough from the town, and we're on to some quote-unquote greener pastures on the highway out of here. Okay, so here we go, small update. Driving down the highway, it turns this way. I'm going to check a few of the local vehicles if I can for bags and stuff, but most of the time I have to just keep moving because there's always a small bandwagon following behind me. So we're just continuing down the same highway. I found an extra bag on one of the, whatchamacallit, on one of the bikes on the road where there was, well, there was a bit of peace and quiet, basically. Not much there, but I think the thing on the right is called the stoppage lane, right? If you have a stoppage, an emergency stop that you need to make because, I don't know, your engine blew up, or something, this is where you stop. Yeah, you're not supposed to drive around this in civil conditions. Here, though, the good thing is I think I can drive alongside it, and barring, like, minor accidents like this, it's actually enabling road travel. Well, as I say that, not anymore, but most of the time, traveling down the highway so far has been pretty darn pleasant, and for the most part I think I've avoided any larger groups as well, and if there are, I just speed past them, which was the whole idea of this thing. Yeah, let's see, there you go. Also, I've noticed that away from the town, I don't get any of those stutters from driving around, so I still get a tiny bit of motion sickness from the way this controls and this moves, but overall, can I squeeze in here? I cannot. Can I squeeze past here? Yes, I can. That was a bit risky. Oh, there's not a tree behind that I didn't see. Oh, I want to check that out. If I can. I'd love to check out that APC. And also, if I can clear these out... Never mind. We're not checking out the APC. After that screech, there's... Yeah, you see? You see the problem? Everyone down the road from here to my next town heard that. Okay, this is a problem. Okay, this is a big problem. This is a very, very big problem. This is a very, very, very big problem. That screech may have just killed me. There's a vehicle there, just can't see it. Yeah. Invisible vehicles, man. Had a feeling that was going to be the end of me. Okay, if I go through here and then over on the left. Over on the left, I should be able to avoid them. Leave that big horde there, all confused and dazzled as I make a daring escape. Right. How is this bike still driving is beyond me, but... What can I say? Durable little bastard. Although, part of me suspects by the time I reach the next town, I don't think I'm going to have this bike anymore. Or rather, I fully expect it to just stop and brake. But we will see. Especially if I keep crashing into stuff. Okay, yeah, hitboxes, as you can see. Little bit problematic. I think I go here and then turn, right? Yeah, that's it. Don't be afraid to go into the woods. On paper sounds like a terrible idea in this scenario, but trust me, it's not that bad. Right, there we go. Wonderful. Wonderful. And we can check out a Humvee in the area. At least one, right? Okay, I just want to be quick about it, but not too quick. I do want to secure the area first. Okay, anything from this stalker that I can take? Gunpowder, yes. Fishing equipment, that's been on the list for a while. Okay, and then Stalker gas mask. No, don't really need it. Stalker boots, no. Stalker gloves, no. That's all damaged. Alright. Police officer as well. With a Taurus M9. Not much else though. No ammo. Okay, that should be enough of time and space to go check this out. Oh, thank Christ it's open. Alright. Literally nothing. Yeah, well. We tried, right? Let it be known that we tried. I also need to stop at some point Not going to need to stop for fuel. I sorted that out on the road as well, but there was a gas can, just use that. Topped it up, because I figured, you know what, this is an opportunity. There's a gas can right there. Might as well. Don't know when I'm going to get the chance again. Because it might be pretty much never. So, yeah, I'm also going to need to stop eventually to figure out where we're going. This is not a good spot, but it's not a terrible spot either. We've made it to a town. Or is it not a town? Is it just a pit stop? What am I, a Formula 1 racing driver? Now, is it just like a stop? Here is it. It's a crossroads. Right, right. At the crossroads, we go right. I know this because I've, believe it or not, prepared for this trip a little bit. Not much, but a little bit, right? Forgot to bring an axe initially. Didn't forget to check where I'm going and where I want to get to. So, you know. This might be a slight problem. Yeah, it turns out we're not turning right at the crossroads after all. Another invisible car is gonna be a problem. Okay, I need to put some distance between me and that last feral. And then I think up here, if there's no runners, I can stop and check the map, except there is, so I can't. Ouch. Okay, I reversed in time. I'm on a highway, that's always a good sign, right? Just keep going straight. Okay. Just keep going straight. Alright. Found another relatively peaceful spot to check the map. So here's the idea. We merge onto this highway, we keep going straight, and we just follow the right-of-way, basically, right? We avoid this town altogether. We go straight across the bridge and towards Louisville. See you there, hopefully, if there's no complications. So we had to take a little bit of a detour. We're not following the highway anymore. We're in the town. The road just parallel to the highway. And I'm supposed to take a right somewhere up ahead. Although I think it's going to be a bit further. The reason for that is the clogway. Well, you know what? That's, I think, an appropriate name for it. The highway. Lovely. Bike just died. Perfect. Okay, I need to get rid of the ferals. They're dangerous ones, and then hopefully get on the bike again. Engine just died, that's going to be a problem. If it happens a few more times, it's going to be a big problem. Okay, there could be a grabber in there, and I'm risking a heck of a lot by doing this. Okay, need to move. Need to move. Need to somehow distract them. Get back on the bike. Maybe jumping here isn't a terrible idea. I see the route. I see the road to the bike, though. Yeah, definitely a good idea. Crap. I have to lose them. I have to lose them now. I can't rely on fighting all of them. Most of them I'm going to have to fight. Can't be all of them, though. You bastard. Okay, that was risky as all hell, but we've made it. There is relative safety in these walls. Okay. Sneak, 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 sneak. That's the answer. Sneak into here and then formulate a plan. You know what the scariest thing is? When you see your death, you sort of envision it. You go like, right, this is how I go. This is how I died. That's the scariest part. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to catch my breath here, but look at how far we've made it. We made it down the entirety of this road, and we were stopped around here. So I need to get there into the bike, or rather on the bike again, but you know, technically the game thinks I'm inside it, so I can't really be torn off the bike, which is probably going to be a recurring question. I don't think the zombies can pull me off the bike as easily. I don't think it's impossible, but it's really difficult. It's kind of like pulling you out of a car, right? You can get bitten through the window, I know, if they break the window. I think it's the same here, except there's no window, so there's nothing to break. But it's really difficult, right? You need to stay stationary for a couple of minutes, or at least a minute or so, and then let them get at you. Because technically a bike is a car in this game, because bikes aren't a thing yet. But anyways, thank you very much for watching. Like, subscribe down below if you enjoyed the video and want to stay tuned with the rest of the series and the rest of the content I produce on this channel. Next time, we're going to formulate a plot and a plan to somehow get back on that bike and continue for just twice the amount that we've just been through. I know, it's a lot. I also need to check the engine, but I'm not going to do that right now. Until then, have fun, take care, bye-bye. Oh, and, you know, donations down below, stuff like that. Whew! That was exciting. I'll see you next time.